geek officer of the Patti Vasquez Show and the king of geeks at Chicagoland. Right?
Yeah, folks, just so you know, this was not planned. This was all kind of thrown together, kind of last minute.
Mm-hmm. I was told I had the night off.
No, I think if I remember correctly. I think when we were leaving the studio, there was something about an hour. Something an hour had to happen, or
I don't know.
There was something like that.
Okay.
But no, it's a full show. We're here.
That's for Thursday. Ken Mejia Beal.
Thursday.
Yes.
Okay, you can't. Okay, yeah.
Ken Mejia Beal will be sitting in to guest co-host, and then so that's a family party.
Oh, Ken's going to be here.
Yes, Ken's going to. Well,
cool.
Do you want to come and play with Ken?
Maybe.
That sounds weird.
Yeah. No. Well, I'm actually. No, but Ken, no, because I met Ken the last time he was in studio.
Ken, get in your car and come visit us. I've been busy. I haven't been able to make plans, so if you want to come join us on here.
But yeah, so you messaged me this morning, Elliott, I have to go in. Can you join me? I went, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
I'm happy to be here.
Which means, by the way, Pequods afterwards.
Oh, Pequods, yeah.
Just saying.
No, but it was funny because... I had no plans. I know you folks out there in Radio Land. I mean, Patty and I have known each other for a very long time. Patty also will, when she knows I don't have plans for the holidays.
I invite you every year.
I know, especially when you know I don't have plans for the holidays. Like it's like
I didn't know you didn't have plans this year. I just extend the invitation.
You always
regardless.
You always do extend the invitation, and I know, and it's like the whole but though there have been some years when like my family might have different plans or something, and but this has been a year where I consciously kind of like I'm going to keep to myself. Wasn't going to go anywhere, but Patty just cannot take no for an answer. So I'm beginning to think she rigged this entire thing to get me into the station. So then that way afterwards, that'd be Christmas Eve.
I only live 2 blocks away. I mean, why would you drive home right away? You had your first cocktail with Griffin last night. You both shared stories over glasses of wine.
Yeah, that was really nice too.
Isn't that cool? As friends?
It's funny. Yeah, no, it's funny that when I talked to that young man, then all his friends showed up, and I was like the old fogey.
I felt really bad because you were like, "You guys are taking off soon, right?" And I'm like, "No, we're
the ones that are leaving.
We have to leave. This is
like one of his friends showed up and took his coat off. I thought they were just there to say hello, then leave, like being polite. And I go, "Don't take your coat off. You guys aren't staying long." And he's like, "What?" And then you went, "No, Elliott, we're the ones that are leaving." I went,
"Yes."
Oh,
yeah.
They were taking over the little shared space there, but it was very nice.
Isn't that cool that we have a place where the kids want to come? The kids all being 20, 21.
The young folks, yeah. And they had to listen to me just incessantly go on about that Indiana Jones diary at the University of Chicago. I mention it again and again and again. You
know something? We assume that everyone knows what we're talking about when it comes to Indiana Jones' diary. And I say that because I scroll sometimes to relieve stress, although I shouldn't because invariably something stressful will come up.
That's doom scrolling. That's why they call it doom scrolling. Yeah.
So I've filled my timeline with people who go thrift store shopping and flip old furniture. Not like flipping it angrily.
Yeah, no, you get it.
Like stripping it down and stuff. And there was a flight attendant who was 22 years old, and she got really scared. She's telling the story, and she's can also have a lot of Gen X, the sort of influencers that are called Gen X. Right. So it's a woman with a really short, spiky hair, and kind of color. She's very funky, and I like her. So it's a split. It's the Stitch, and this flight attendant's talking about finding a device, and she and this other flight attendant are freaking out because it's got like wires coming out of it, and it's got like these weird buttons on it, and she can't figure out what it is. So they called TSA, and nobody knew what it was. So they finally had to call like the bomb squad, right? And somebody showed up, and like in his 40s or 50s, and he goes, "How old are you guys?" And they were all under 25, right? And it was a Walkman. Elliott, and then this flight attendant who's like 22 or 23, she goes, "It's like, oh, it was just a radio, like this ancient radio," and I'm like, "Ancient." What?
Whenever I keep hearing this old, if you were born back in the 1900s, I know,
from the late 1900s.
We're 20th century.
Yeah.
We're from the 20th century. We were born in the last century.
Oh, and
think about it.
When I go thrift store shopping, I'm just buying the clothes that I gave away in the 90s.
Yep.
I'm serious. Yeah, baby doll dresses and jean jackets, Doc Martens.
Although Doc Martens, though, you find those, you grab those, you keep those, because they're big on the secondary market, actually. They're very big because you can resole them or, really refurbish them. And and they're
amazing.
Because they're like one of the few shoes out there that are still handmade.
They're beautiful.
Everyone's made by hand.
I get really sad when I was at a thrift store. I can't tell people where I go because it's already getting really popular, and I get really nervous. I see people with their phones like taking pictures of things to see if it's what it's worth and stuff. But I was trying on a pair of shoes, so I took my Doc Martens off, and this girl was trying them.
Oh, excuse me, but
those are my shoes. I have to worry when I go into stores because my Christmas sweater. This is everything. Like yesterday, everything I was wearing, I think yesterday was all thrifted. So this is a thrifted. I mean, like you should not buy Christmas sweaters new ever. No, every thrift store has great Christmas sweaters.
Yeah. Because when they quote unquote new ones go out, they're essentially the same ones from the previous year. So there's nothing really outstanding about them, and it's better for the environment, it's better for the economy, all those things. I find back to the point being that I didn't have any plans for the holidays, so I'm gonna, after tonight, my dog and I will be spending
So you're not coming back tomorrow?
My dog and I will be spending Christmas.
You can bring home turkey for Miss Moneypenny. Really good, juicy. I got your juicy turkey right here, Elliot. I know. You don't have to stay long. Yeah. You can watch Doctor Who Christmas.
Oh, that's right. There's that one. I promise. Elliot. I promise Miss Moneypenny.
Tomorrow.
Like the longest. She's going to get to walk all over the neighborhood. There will be no route. She's going to I'm going to let her guide go wherever we want to go. So there will be no schedule. Plus, I ran the Pet Supplies Plus today and got her gifts.
Well, how about this? Does she like car rides?
She loves car rides.
Well, why don't you bring her for a car ride here, and I'll walk with you. And Miss Moneypenny, someplace new for her to smell.
That's an idea.
Smell some new dog. We got that big dog park right across the street from me.
That's an idea.
I mean, does she get along with other dogs?
Well, she loves other dogs.
Oh, Elliot, we have a very eclectic and wonderful community of dogs. 2 Irish setters. Right. Steve's listening because I have dog envy.
Yes.
And so there's a giant schnauzer.
Yes, I've seen that giant schnauzer. I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. Couple.
You know what? I'm going to put that in the I'm going to mark it down for
on our countertop.
I'm just like
just in your mind.
In my mind.
If you write it like in the air, it goes. I'll text you. Come for a walk.
Yeah, we'll look at that.
It's supposed to be warm tomorrow. It's like 40 degrees.
Yeah. Everyone's going to be, I know that's everyone I know is like, wow, we're not going to get a white Christmas. It's going to be a drizzly Christmas, actually.
People sad about that.
Yeah, I'm
sorry, I don't mean to laugh at you guys.
Well, no, I don't mind. I mean, my heating bill has not been what it could be, this past winter. So I'm not complaining. And I know what's going to happen. The winter isn't really going to hit us till January. And that's when we're going to get hit with those big snows. And, we're going to be shoveling our driveways, and I'm going to have to pull out my trusty little snow plow that's gotten me through the last few Christmases, or last few the last few
winters. What kind of snow plow do you have?
It's a
like a Bosch or
it's like a Joe something. I forget what it is. It's an electric one.
Joe Blow.
Joe Blow. I almost want to call it that. But what's funny is that it's a Joe.
It should be.
Yeah.
If there's a snowblower called Joe Blow, they're missing out on that marketing.
It's a great little snowblower though. The problem is that it doesn't have the battery. I had to get this extra long extension cord I plug it into the outlet in my garage, and then just go up and down my driveway, and I do the sidewalk out front. But I love that thing. But I haven't had to use it yet. Okay,
I will tell you, there are 2 things that I could, because I have a child. I have 2 beautiful sons, and Griffin, who is 21 and spent many years helping out with the shoveling and stuff, and is busy now, and I have Declan. There is a super side, because of all there are a lot of challenges emotionally and physically with raising a child with a disability. However, I've discovered 2 things that I'm like, okay, this helps, right? One is we have really sweet neighbors who know that we have Declan and will make sure that our sidewalk is shoveled for us, and they have snow blowers. I mean, Steve and I are not getting any younger. We shouldn't have to prove anything to ourselves or others. So they make sure our sidewalk is shoveled for them. I mean, is snow blowed for the most part. The other is when we go grocery shopping at the holidays and there's Salvation Army people outside the store, they never bother us. They're like, I can see the pity in people's eyes for me and Declan, and I'm like, oh,
yeah, this just got enough to deal with. We're not gonna hard sell you on something here.
No, that's. I was just like, oh man, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, I will say
nobody bothers me.
I would say the Salvation Army though, and I haven't seen as many of them doing a little bit the kettle thing, but I'm like, they need to do like the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts have been doing. Set up that little, you get to sign a little QR code, so that way. When people don't have change,
yes, I agree.
You can just you can use your phone. You can Zelle them or whatever, PayPal them a donation.
Yes,
because that's been the last 2 times when the Girl Scouts out in front of the Jewel I go to, or the Boy Scouts, and they're selling either they're doing like the popcorn, the kettle corn, or the Girl Scouts are of course selling the cookies. And of course, who carries cash these days?
Right.
And they're brilliant. They're like, oh no, and I can see they have the little sign and has a little QR code. You scan it, boom, you can Zelle them whatever, and then they get it, and then they go, just do it for this troop or whatever on the little notes bit. They know that you got your donation, and then you get your cookies. I'm like, I was saying they also, if I want to give this idea away for free to any not-for-profit that works with the homeless, because you might have homeless who are out there, you're asking for change and stuff. They might have a sign. What you do is you set them up with a rechargeable debit card, and set that up with an account,
like a digital wallet,
and then you give them a little sign that has that same thing, has a little QR code on it. So if I want to give $5 to someone on the street, scan it, boom, and it goes straight to them. I don't have to worry, again, I don't have to worry about having the change or whatever. They get it. And then it can be like, then they're more than likely, people say, oh, they're going to use it for drugs or whatever. No, they have a debit card. Now they can use it to buy a meal, to get something to drink or something like that. They're not necessarily, and then, but it's like that way, because I know most of the time when I see people on the street who are asking for, if I have that cash on me, if I have an extra few bucks, I'm going to give it to them. I go, look, take it. Here, you can use it. But I feel bad because most of the time I just don't carry cash.
I'm trying to remember a comedian I used to work with that would, and used to carry around like wads of 20s to give to folks on the streets. And, but he would ask them to tell him a joke.
I think I've heard that story. Yes.
Who it was. Were you with us? Were you not with us one time?
Might have been. Yeah, I can't try. I'm blanking. Too. But I have a faint recollection of that.
He'll like make me laugh.
Tell me joke, right?
Which is a lot of stress for somebody. But it doesn't have to be a joke. It just if you just made him laugh. Who was it?
No, that happened to me once. I remember I was walking. What was it? It was a guy who had a sign up. And I forgot what it said. All I know is that I did laugh.
Right.
Anyway, he went, come on, man, you got to give me that. But you're right. And I gave him like a few bucks. I go, look, dude, just because it was clever. It was like, oh, I need money. I want this. It's just he had the thing up. I looked. I laughed. I thought, that's really clever. I need something for this. I need money for this. Boom, here you go. And I gave him, and then I said, good on you.
I think you're right about the Venmo situation because it's easier than you think to start building up. Because I do the digital comedy show every week. I've been doing it since 2000, since the pandemic. So it's been whatever number of shows, and I use all the money. Like right now, I have a nice, it's less than 1,000, but it goes up and down because I use that money to donate to other organizations. It's just like, and they have, as you mentioned, Venmo accounts, and also the bartender. I've only seen this really once or twice. I think at the Hubbard Inn and at the Laugh Factory, the bartender has their Venmo code up.
See, they should.
I like that
that
too.
Is good. I would like, like a lot of times, I don't know, I'm sure restaurant owners would get a little bit annoyed if their wait staff did stuff like that.
Right.
But it's like, because wait staff.
Well, because you have to tip out. You have to go through. When you have to go through them, I had bad situations.
If you don't have cash, is a thing. Yeah. And a lot of times that's the problem too. A lot of folks just don't have cash. I know when I go to eat somewhere, I like to tip. I like to tip in cash.
Yeah, folks, it's so much better because then they get the full amount.
Yeah.
And then they can tip out. They can tip out more appropriately to their food runners, to the back,
to the back. Yeah, as they say.
Yep.
But the Venmoing again, and and I will always give money to someone who has a dog. I know. They go, oh, they're just doing that. I go, yeah, but guess what? It is what it is, and that's where you hit me.
Let's take a break here. We're hanging out with Elliott Serano, Chief Geek Officer of Driving It Home at Patti Vasquez, as well as the King of Geeks Chicago area. I guess we're trying to expand nationwide.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People are still mad at me about Dean Cain from yesterday. I'm still getting that. So, yeah.
So the two things you catch people up soon during the show today is the Dean Cain situation and his non-really patriotic stance on things.
Not very idealistic. Very un-Superman with the way things that he would say.
And you'd explain to folks the obsession with the diary
of Indiana Jones
Journal.
Yes, for folks who haven't heard the story, and it is if you thought I was obsessed before.
Look out!
Wait till you get to the end of the story.
Maybe we have a U Chicago associated, and somebody from the staff, from the faculty, from a former student. We'll take all.
If you're from the University of Chicago and you can help me, just stay by your radio.
That's right. Stay by your radio, because I have not one but two gifts to give away today. And right now, since I have 4 lines open, I'm going to do caller number 4. Does that sound good, Lady B? Okay, caller number 4. Let's give away. We'll do Fry the Coop, which is the destination for hot chicken in Chicagoland, giving a Southern original, a Midwest touch. Whether you want heat or no heat, I want no heat now. I know it's surprising. I'm no longer a heat girl. I got burned by a ghost pepper. We'll talk about. I think I told you that story. It's not good.
Wow.
Featuring chicken sandwiches, tenders, chicken and waffles, and now nuggets, all delivering happiness in each crunchy bite, proudly not using seed oils, but frying all their menu items in 100% beef tallow. Stop by the Fry the Coop today at one of its many Chicago locations, from Oaklawn to Chicago to Elmhurst to Darien, Prospect Heights, Tinley Park, and Bolingbrook. You can have no heat, mild, medium, hot, or crazy insanity. I don't do that anymore. And to celebrate the holidays, Fry the Coop gave WCPT $25 gift cards as a little gift to you. So that as caller number 4, the lines are all lit up. So we should have a winner in a moment. There we go. We're going to open that up. Caller number 4 for your chance to win. You can still get in, because I think we have a delay. There you go. Contests running on WCPT are open to listeners 18 or older and residents of the Greater Chicagoland. I can't do it all in one, Elliott. I thought I was going to be able to do it really fast, but I can't. Greater Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana area, 1 entry per person, 1 winner per household. Void where prohibited by law. Listeners may only win or qualify to win once every 30 days. Complete rules are available on our website at WCPT820.com by clicking the contest tab. And coming up later in the show, I do have a pair of tickets to see Kathy Griffin on New Year's Eve at the Chicago Theater. I'll tell you more about that when we come back on WCPT 820, the Heartland Signal.
Joan Esposito, live, local, and progressive.
People who listen to WCPT, you are bright, you are interested, you are interesting, and you are well informed. It is a gift for me to be here, and I appreciate it every day. We obviously couldn't do this without you.
Joan Esposito, weekday afternoons 2 to 5 on WCPT 820.
Hey Google, play WCPT.
Streaming Chicago's progressive talk from TuneIn.
There's no better way to defend democracy in front of your fascist Republican friends than with a cold progressive beer from the Minocqua Brewing Company of Wisconsin. So head on over to Beer on the Wall in Schaumburg, Doty Liquors in Elmhurst, Captain Jack's Beverages in Worth, or the Wilmette Market to pick up a 4-pack or couple 2-3 of MAGA Tears IPA today. Don't forget to drink and vote responsibly.
Patti Vasquez is taking your calls now at 773-763-9278. Driving it home with Patti Vasquez now on WCPT 820.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue to drive it home. I'm your host, Patti Vasquez. Joining me in studio is Elliott Serano. He is an author, a comic book writer. He is one of my favorite human beings on the planet. And if you're hiring, Elliott.
Well, yeah.
Just say, I mean, why not? Like the kind of work that I try to keep my eyes open. I keep getting these notices, not through my office, but I see things that, are you on the page for because it seems like there's a lot of ads for the state of Illinois hiring. Have you seen these?
Yes, I have, and I've been applying for a lot of those things. Yeah.
Right,
the thing about
I don't want to be that person who's like, have you tried this? I hate that.
No, I did. No, I appreciate that. And I have been, I've been applying to a lot of things. I know I have, you and my brother also, you work for the state.
Right.
And I have applied for some things, but I know the state takes a very long time getting back to people, especially with the market being what it is now. So I've done that. I am interviewing now. I do have a return interview for a position it's not until the middle of next month.
Right. That's hard at the holidays. holidays,
Yeah,
right?
I have been interviewing. I've been applying. People who are in the job market now will relate to this. I've had everything happen, either from I apply for a job that I know I'm qualified for, that lines up with everything I've done, that I know I'm experienced for. I don't even get a response because my application might get filtered out by the AI program that they're using for it. I'll get a, hey, thank you for applying, but we've decided to go with someone else.
Right. And at least it's polite to say that.
Yes.
Right. So you know.
But I may not even get an interview at that point. I mean,
Okay.
it's just like, oh, we saw your application. Thank you for applying, but we're going with someone else.
Gotcha.
And then I go in and apply. I've had that happen a couple times. I apply. I have an interview. It goes really well. And then, oh, we're sorry, we're going to go with someone else. And again, I know that the market out there is incredibly competitive. There are a lot of really talented people out there. So when people were telling me, well, Elliott, you're so good at this and that,
Right.
it's going to be easy for you to find a new position. I'm like, all right. And then it's, well, no, because I'm not the only quote unquote talent out there. So while I appreciate everyone's pep talks, sometimes it's like, geez, folks, it's like, I get knocked down, but I get up again. so yes, I am out there. I'm looking. I'm interning right now at a suburban radio station. We talked about that yesterday. It's an unpaid internship, but I'm hoping to learn enough that I can use those skills to, go on to other things. And I'm still out looking.
All right. So how do folks get a hold of you if they perhaps know that there's a position near them in their universe of friends?
I have an email. My email, I have a business account now just for my job search, ElliottRSerano@gmail.com.
ElliottRSerano@gmail.com. It's 2 L's, 2 T's, 2 R's.
That's it. ElliottRSerano@gmail.com. If you want to interview me, if you have a position, I've got a lot of experience in media, marketing, social media, program development. I spent close to 30 years at the Anti-Cruelty Society as a community outreach manager and programs manager. I was a director of marketing at the Hinsdale Humane Society. Currently working in radio ad sales. And I want to do something that's creative, and I have a lot of interesting ideas. I love working with people. I want to do something that's meaningful. I don't just want to sell things. I want to be able to make a difference in the community, and that's what I'm hoping to land on.
And I will vouch professionally and personally for Elliott Serano. Just somebody who's loyal. But, I mean, you show up. You are dedicated and passionate, and that's why I like spending time with you.
No, I definitely. If I'm going to do something, it's going to get the best of me. And again, the positions I was in before, the reason I'm no longer there is just COVID hit. COVID hit animal welfare very, very hard. In fact, the last two organizations I work with actually have had to make drastic cuts because of COVID. So if you're someone who's very affluent and you want to support organizations and me, especially animal welfare, the Hinsdale Humane Society desperately needs help.
Okay.
Desperately needs help. You wouldn't know, for them being in such an affluent community, they have had to cut down to the bone.
Well, because so many people were adopting too during the pandemic, and
now all these animals are being turned into animal shelters. I have friends who are at the Animal Care and Control here in the city of Chicago, and good golly, are they getting slammed, overwhelmed. It's like the city of Chicago, they have some great people who work at the Animal Care and Control Center, and volunteers that work there. They are trying so hard to save as many animals as they can, and just when they think they're getting their head above water, boom. And then you see it on Facebook now. People are giving up animals left and right. So we're so sorry. We got to do this. We got to do that. Can't keep them. And don't get me wrong. Yes, that is incredibly... it's unfortunately, it's common, it's heartbreaking, and people are finding themselves in situations that they weren't expecting to have to give up their pet. So I'm never going to judge anyone who has to give up their pet. It's happening across the board, and it's overwhelming for animal welfare organizations. And that is like my nightmare right now. I do not want to end up in a situation where I'd have to give up my dog. So
it's hard.
Yeah.
Folks, again, it's ElliottRSerano@gmail.com. 2 L's, 2 T's, R, and then Serano with 2 R's. Elliott
And
Serano.
Serano with an S too. Don't spell it like the guy on Major League, the baseball player, Serrano, who had to sacrifice a chicken to the voodoo whatever.
Oh golly! Well, at least he became president after that. It's like, you do a deep cut, I'll deep cut you right back to 24. Just saying.
There we go.
Oh my God. Well, you were brought up 24 yesterday with Dr. Daniela, who, by the way, while we were on the air, I forgot to tell you, I can't find anything that she's done actively in years. When we were at the other radio station at WGN and she would come in, she wanted to get paid. So we were like, okay, it was nice knowing you. I get that it's late. Here's the thing. I'm going to do the show anyway.
Yeah.
It's your opportunity to share.
To be there.
Yeah.
I mean, Joey Thurman, our buddy Joey.
Yeah.
Remember, he's on like the Today Show and all that. They're not paying him. He's out there just to promote himself. Yeah. It's kind of what you got. That's the hustle.
Yeah, I had a couple people that want, and I was like, oh, okay, it's fine. Hey, again, I'll be here. I'll be here either way. Let's take a break here. I got a couple callers on hold, so I'll come back and get your calls in just a moment. We do have a pair of tickets coming up later in the show to give away for Kathy Griffin, who is performing at the Chicago Theater on New Year's Eve. So I'll let you know more about that, but you can purchase your tickets at Ticketmaster.com if you want to grab a pair of tickets. Let's take a break and come back in a moment and continue our conversation with Elliott Serano and, of course, you on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Cloudy skies tonight with a low temperature of 33 degrees and winds out of the east around 5 miles an hour. Christmas Day, Wednesday, a little bit of rain developing mainly in the afternoon with a high temperature around 38. On Thursday, we'll see a couple of showers with a high temperature of 46. Friday, rain likely with a high temperature of 50. Saturday, chance of rain and a high of 43. Sunday, showers with a high temperature of 48. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 37.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Dive deeper into the heart of the news and stories at WCPT 820 and across the Midwest by checking out our website, heartlandsignal.com.
It's the coverage I can count on every time.
For the latest news updates, in-depth analysis, compelling stories, comprehensive election coverage, live streams, and thought-provoking opinions, head to heartlandsignal.com.
When I need to know, they're there.
They keep me informed and updated wherever I am.
Stay informed with WCPT 820, your go-to source for where facts matter.
WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk, where facts matter.
Patti Vasquez is taking your calls now at 773-763-9278. Driving it home with Patti Vasquez now on WCPT 820.
Thank you so much for joining us for our drive home on this Christmas Eve. I was one of the reasons. Look, Elliott, let's be honest. I love you, and I always want you to come. Here's the thing. It's not just the holidays. I invite you over because it's also when I do a deep clean on my house. So just so we're clear. My family this morning. They were like, Griffin goes, yeah, that's Elliott really is going to go in that drawer. Like I had taken apart. So I mentioned that I've been doing a lot of thrift store shopping and like watching people flip furniture. Do you know that desk that we have in the kitchen? It's a roll top desk, right? Yeah. So I was on like Facebook Marketplace, and that desk was for sale for like $800. I was like, $800, right? On Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. So I did an AI search of it. It is a teak antique. It's teak. It's a Scandinavian. Oh wow. But what's been bothering me? So it was my mother-in-law's. It was from her kitchen, and it was something I had asked for because it always made me think of her. Right. Like I have my father-in-law's dresser. I have I think it's her desk. So those the items around the house that are the Joneses from Steve's side of the family. But it had the bottoms of the drawers would bow, right? So like it wasn't lined up with the track. Mm-hmm. Like the drawer line would line up fine, but the part like just a flat bottom of the drawer. So I had taken the whole thing apart today to like put that back on its track. Yeah. And Griffin's like, yeah, Elliott's going to be really happy that you did that. It's really gonna make all the difference with Elliott's visit. So
I'll be like, oh, look at that. I've been, I'm gonna admit right now that was bothering me. It was bowing on the bottom. Thank
Elliott,
you.
I bleached the grout in our shower, even though I know you're not gonna take a shower at our house. I mean, the levels of, you help me get things done around the like the panic mode. I think is acceptable to my family only when they know you're coming over.
Yeah,
so
and I never judge. I know,
you're very kind because
you've never you've been to my house once, and I don't even think you came in.
I did come in once when you were sick years ago.
It was a lot. Yes, I remember that.
Your house was fine. It was cute.
You didn't even really go all over. I think you saw my dining room. That was it.
Oh.
And I was because I was sick as a dog. I was really sick. And then he came and dropped off all this medicine and stuff because I couldn't even leave the house to get stuff.
I remember.
Yeah, but you've never my house is like I do that same thing where now it's starting to get a little clutter here and there, which is for me kind of starting to bother me because I'm like, I don't want to be like that guy, like I have a heart attack in my house and then the EMTs come in and they see like stuff piled all over the house and stuff. And,
well, we have had a conversation about this in our house because you mentioned that you had a dream the other night about Nathan luring you to the other side.
Yes.
So we want to know if we can put a life alert on you. We're wondering if we can give that to you for Christmas. We would like to be your in case of emergency.
In case of emergency. It's funny. It don't get me. First, of course, you are always welcome to do a wellness check on me. I've actually had that with my siblings. I go, hey, do not feel bad if you want to do a wellness check. Okay. If you want to call just to see how I am, because I'm not always communicative. I know that, and there are times. Yes, it's funny. You were not the first person to
microchip you.
Yes, express concern after that part. Okay, folks. For those who obviously if you're not following me on Facebook, what Patty is referring to is I had a very vivid dream last week where I was lying in bed and this is I'll go through it quickly. I know you have people waiting to come on the line.
Sorry, even Jim just had.
Yeah, sorry, even Jim. I'll get through this quick. I was lying in bed and I felt like it was like I was lying in bed, but I was also walking and I felt like I was in a hallway and a little kid was like running by me. And I went and
so creepy.
And it was and he was running by me and somehow in my head, I knew this child's name was Nathan. So I said out of nowhere, I said, "Hello, Nathan, how are you?" And the moment I said that, it was like, boom, it was like something, the universe unlocked. Nathan, this presence, giggled like, ha, like, ha, oh, look, like, oh, you're the grown up, I'm not going to talk to you, but he runs by me.
Right.
And then this bright light shines in my face and I see the great expanse of the beyond, but it's like bright light. It's like shining in my face. And I remember remembering, my part of my brain is going, dude, you're asleep right now and your eyes are closed, but you're seeing this bright light. And there was and I could feel like a tug, like in the center of my chest, like I was being pulled out and I was being called, to the other side. And I'm thinking, okay, this is it. It's time for me to go now. But I'm in my dream. So in my dream, I'm like, it's time for me to go. And there have been times I've always told myself that when the time comes, when my ticket is up, when my number is called, I'm not going to go, I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to be scared. I'm going to be accepting. I want to go peacefully. Right. Like my father did. When my father passed away, he was in bed. He passed away peacefully. So that's the way I'm going to go. And I can feel my soul is about to leave.
So creepy.
But then my dream brain remembered in my waking brain that, dude, if you die right now, you're going to leave your dog alone. And it could be days before anyone realizes that you're gone and that your dog has been there all alone. So I said to the beyond, the great beyond, to go, please don't take me away from her. And at that point, it was like the beyond went, okay, and it let me go, and then the light faded away, and then I was back in bed again. And then it was so vivid.
I hate that.
It was so vivid. I went, okay, all right. And then, I wrote about it on my Facebook page because when I'm a writer and I like taking my experiences and express them through writing to see if I can get other people to kind of get where I was. And I was getting all this response. People were going, wow, they couldn't believe it. And it could mean this, it could mean that. Well, of course, my mom read it.
Well,
and
oh boy, oh
she
man.
called.
She had to be worried.
Johnny, are you okay? Are you sure? You know you can talk to me about anything if you want to. You know that, right? I go, yeah. I had it put 2 and 2 together there. Like, she's calling me to ask how I am. Am I fine?
Sure.
Like, I knew all my siblings had read it. None of them had said anything. My mom calls me, and it wasn't until later I went, oh, that's why she was so concerned. So, yes.
I thought you might get a lot of this. I thought I'd wait. Steve, and I told Steve, and because Griffin also follows you on Facebook.
Yeah.
You have to keep me up to date on what Griffin posts on Facebook.
I don't see his stuff.
Maybe,
yeah.
you know, he probably limits who can see him, so his mom's friends can't see. Yeah, I used to follow him on Twitter. And then one day he posted, I think my parents both left the house forgetting their anniversary again, lol. And
that one I saw.
That was how I got blocked on Facebook, on Twitter. Because he was like, wait, because I don't have a good poker face. That's how I remembered.
That one I remember seeing.
I could have just pretended like I suddenly remembered, or I knew all along, but no, I don't play that game.
Right.
Yeah, it's all bad.
Anywho.
Mahoozy. So yes, Steve asked if we could invest in LifeLock for
you guys are...
Not LifeLock, Life Alert.
Life Alert.
I've fallen!
And I can't get up.
I think now it's like it senses if you haven't gotten up in a while.
I mean, I do need to get like you know what? I should put you down as my emergency contact.
Yeah, that would be fine.
I can do that.
I know I'm not that close to you, but
I know that if somebody tries to call you, they'll get you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's true. Let's see. Merry Christmas, Patty and Miss B. Actually, in somebody's retirement homes, they have motion detectors inside their apartment homes, and if there's not motion within X amount of hours, they'll call or they go to the home. Semper Fi from Gunny, who we know from our whiskey and cookie as well.
Maybe I should get one. I mean, I have the Alexa thing and all that. Maybe I can get one of those.
But it needs to know. I mean, like you have to say something. If it's something sudden, then I don't want to get grim, but I've had the situation happen to me before.
I know. Actually, yes.
And that was my fault because I should have been persistent because I called him and I was like, oh, maybe Tom's resting. Yeah. And then
I know I was. Again, trust me when I think
think of PTSD.
I think about how if something like that happened, I think about how it would affect my family and friends. So yeah,
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine.
Yeah.
I'm so well adjusted.
Jeez.
Here's the thing. You know about that? It was as hard as it was. There was also sort of an odd beauty to finding my friend, and it seemed as though it was peaceful for Tom.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like he was in any pain. It seemed like he'd gotten up and gotten his carry-out food at the door, sat down, and just didn't get up again. Oh. And so I had there was something about knowing that he was and he had his phone in his hand, and it was just yeah. And I remember his landlords came down when the cops came and the fire truck, and because he had his phone in his hand, I go, I'll tell you this much. I know he died pissed at somebody, and they go, well, I don't know. He seemed like a really nice guy. And I go, yeah, so do I.
Tom was a good guy. No,
he was the
Tom
best.
Was a good
Cheers
guy.
to Tom. I've made a mistake in our planning for the evening, by the way. I thought I had time to order Pequods, and they no longer deliver, and it's kind of outside of my wanting to drive. So I think I'm going to take a chance on deep dish in the neighborhood. I think is what I have. Sorry, family. Let me see if they're still doing deep dish. Where? Oh, there it is. Okay, yes. All right, let's take a phone call. I know our friends Eve and Jim have been hanging on there through our back and forth a little
Sorry
bit.
about that, folks.
Oh, please. I think it's okay. Eve, how are you doing? You're on with me and Elliott Serano. How are you doing tonight?
Great, how are you?
We're good.
Patty and Elliott.
Hey.
Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. What's up?
I'm going to be celebrating Christmas at St. Benedict's tomorrow.
Where at?
St. Benedict's Church.
Oh, St. Benedict's. Excellent. Is that where you've gone traditionally with your family?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite part about the season? Is it food? Is it being with family? The music?
Everything. Food, family, friends.
Yeah.
Cats and birds. Yeah.
There you go. Just getting together with everyone you love. Well, I love that, Eve. Thank you so much for calling and wishing us and our audience a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah to everyone in your circle.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't want to ask Eve if she knew anybody from the University of Chicago. I'm going to be bothering everybody with this. I'm going to do that.
It's okay. I'm not bothered. We have to tell a story. Let's get to Jim first. Hey, Jim, what's on your mind, my friend? Hey, hold on a second. Sorry, Jim. Hey, Jim.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed this Christmas. I expected an invitation down to Mar-a-Lago.
Mine too.
Sure.
And the way I understood it was the president-elect was supposed to be my secret Santa, so I was to see what I was going to get from him. But I understand the itinerary. He's going to have all the social media moguls down there to discuss business, and he's going to have what's interesting, what I wanted to hear was Clarence Thomas was going to bring 6 of the judges down there to sing Silent Night. He was going to lead the chorus. So, I'm missing a great party. That's what got me mad, And not only that, but I know, believe it or not, I know a politician in Iceland that I could get to. And I was thinking about talking Trump into buying Iceland or Musk or one of those guys. Iceland is, an interesting property. It's nice and cool. It's nice and cool in the summer. It's kind of cold in the winter. But I missed the invitation. That's all. And I'm really disappointed. You imagine a shindig down there at Mar-a-Lago? That should be a riot,
Yeah, no kidding.
I missed out on the job offer. I mean, considering the way they're hiring people. I mean, I've got just as much experience with policy as many of those folks, that are in there now. I've been on the radio. I guess you have to have a media thing.
I guarantee, Elliott, you can beat those guys in a minute. Any of them. I mean, seriously. Seriously. Yeah, what department do you want to run?
That's a good one. That's a good one. I want Department of, whoever handles the forest fires.
Okay.
Was it,
like the Department of the Interior?
Interior? Yeah. So that way I can go. Yeah. I can go to California and tell them, hey, you got to rake these leaves up. The reson you're having all these fires is because you're not raking your leaves.
That was nuts. Get a good landscaper, and all this has gone away.
You got to bring a rake with you. You just got to bring a rake with you. But I was thinking the ambassador. How about Herschel Walker is the ambassador to the Bahamas? Imagine that
he's
idiot down there.
Well, he's going to live there, right? He'll be at the embassy. You'll just find him on the beach.
They'll give him a nice hotel room down there.
Yeah.
Oh, but what a group! And then what's his name's brother-in-law, the ambassador to France. Unbelievable. The guy who put his brother in jail. He put his mother, his sister in jail, or somebody put in jail. I mean, these people are such criminals that it's breathtaking. It's just breathtaking on a Christmas. Talk about the criminals run amok, and they talk about law and order, and they're the most criminally insane people I've ever heard of. Anyway, we have a Merry Christmas, guys. Thank you.
Have a Merry Christmas, Jim. Thank you so much.
It just occurred to me, Department of Education. So that way I can challenge Linda McMahon to a cage match. And it'll be like we'll do like best of 3 falls. Linda McMahon, she can have like Shano and Stephanie come in and interfere, and I'll do the bit.
Oh my God! I see. You know what's so funny? Like, there's so much happens all at once every day that I forget like these crazy things that like.
It's overwhelming. Yeah,
and that's the point of it.
It's gonna be. We're back to that again. We're back to the whole all the crazy stuff that's going to happen for at least 2 years.
Yeah, I agree. Elliott, you mentioned that you like everything on your pizza except for anchovies, but are there things that you like more than other things?
I prefer the meats and the colored vegetables over the like the mushroom, which really has no color. It's like beige.
Okay. Duly noted.
Although I will have it. If you're going to get the deep dish from that place that you've gotten from before, I remember thinking there's nothing bad on those. Nothing bad on it.
That's fair. Okay, we got that.
But
I did not know.
Yeah, and then as the head of the Department of Education, then I can go to the University of Illinois and ask for them. The University of Chicago, and ask them to present me with I'll have like Trump sign me an executive order, because I got to do is just make sure I'm like the last person to leave the Oval Office at that point, because that was pretty much what everybody knew. If you were the last one to leave the room, whatever idea you pitched him was whatever he went with that day. So I just got to make sure I'm the last person in the Oval at the end of our staff meeting. Go, hey, Indiana Jones Diary. And while you're at it, can we find out that whole thing about the UFOs? I mean, do we have those UFO bodies like in Area 51? I love how he's like talking about the drones. He knows all about the drones.
Oh my God!
But it's the government, and the government. And I'm like, dude, you're the government now. Oh, but I can't really talk about it because that's the government. Mm-hmm. You got briefed on it, and he's being all coy. Yeah. And I'm like, just come on. I say for the next 4 years, let's rip the Band-Aid off everything. Let's talk. They keep having all these hearings about aliens, right? That the U.S. military or the Pentagon's been hiding proof of aliens. They have these guys who testify before Congress saying that we've got it, although they've never seen it themselves. Right. It's all anecdotal, but they know it's there because they heard about it from someone else. Okay, come on. Dude, just go. Let's go in there. Let's reveal it all. Let's go. I mean, he already gave away. He gave away plenty of state secrets the last time he was president. Remember when he gave away that we had a U.S. submarine off the coast of South Korea? You know, he tells on the air, we've got subs in international waters right by Korea. He's telling folks. He talks about the hypersonic missiles that we're not supposed to talk about it, but we've got hypersonic missiles. We do that. He gives away an Israeli asset to the Russian ambassador, and we're like, oh, but that's just him. He's going to declassify whatever information he wants
because they normalize crazy.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, come on, tell us. I want to know about the aliens. And while we're at it, the Lost Ark of the Covenant is probably in Area 51 as well. Let's go in there. Let's open some crates.
Oh my.
We all know Raiders of the Lost Ark was inspired by a true story.
Elliott is eager for more information. If we're burning it all down, at least.
Let's hit the fun stuff.
Let's take a break here. We're hanging out in studio with Elliott Serano, our chief geek officer, and you can follow him on TikTok. I got a little something in the back
King of Geeks Chicago on TikTok. Yeah, and then you can see the post I made about Dean Cain that's got everybody all mad.
Let's talk more about that when we come back on WCPT at 20, Heartland Signal.
A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
We've probably all done it, the boredom scroll on social media. According to a new Canadian study, while people fast forward or skip videos to avoid boredom, that behavior actually increases boredom. The lead author said, boredom is closely linked to attention. We feel bored when there's a gap between how engaged we are and how engaged we want to be. So, try this. Instead of always thinking about boredom as a sign of laziness or lack of ambition, think about it as a signal to motivate you to change what you're doing. The goal here is intentionality. How can you stay focused? How can you stop thinking about what else is out there and just be present in this moment? And is there anything that you're avoiding by sitting there scrolling? I'm willing to bet there's almost always some sort of better use of your time. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez on WCPT 820.
Thank you so much for joining us as we drive it home this lovely Christmas Eve. And Elliott Serano, our Chief Geek Officer of the Driving It Home show. He is the king of geeks in Chicago. And you can follow him on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. None of us are really
No,
using Twitter.
I've left that.
I haven't deleted it.
X is a cesspool. I'm on Threads, though. You can find me on Threads and Instagram. But it's my name, Elliott Serano. 2 L's, 2 T's, 2 R's.
Excellent.
But if you want to find stuff about me that matters, just Amazon.com. I have my own author page if you want to see the books I've written.
And which page?
Amazon.com. I have my own author page on Amazon.com.
Excellent.
Just do a search, Elliott Serano. Boom. All my comics will show up.
Fantastic. We have a couple texts. Susan from Wheaton says, Merry Christmas. Patty, did you mention Nick D? I did not mention Nick D. I miss him too. However, I was going to go through and see the last time I texted him. I used to invite him on the show, and he never responded. And I don't know if it was just sometimes we talk about how like sometimes no answer is your answer. So he just maybe didn't feel comfortable. I don't know.
Sometimes I don't answer.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't stop you. Although when I don't answer you, it's because it's like I get so many different on my messenger. It's all funky, and I'll look at it and go, there are like 4 or 5 messages. I'm on individuals and group chains on Messenger.
Right. So Whiskey and Cookie has one.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, hold on, wait, and then I go, oh crap, someone that's been like, I've left someone on red. Oops, and then but just for folks, Nick D's got a podcast for folks. Yeah, if you were in because Esmeralda Leon, our good friend, is on that podcast with Nick D. So you want to look for him on there.
Yeah, there you go, perfect. Dave in Hoffman Estates. We know where you are. You're in Hoffman Estates. Hey, Dave, what's up?
Yeah, Patty Hoffman Estates. Hey, Patty. Hey, Elliott. Merry Christmas to you guys. And Elliott, when you were first mentioning about the one where you're doing some of the radio training and that for no pay and stuff right now, did you guys happen to catch the story late last week where MSNBC negotiating pay cuts with night anchors Joy Reid and Stephanie Rule? And had the cable channel been kind of nosediving since the election and that, and then when Rachel Maddow earlier in the month or so ago, when she had agreed to pare down her $30 million salary, all of that stuff kind of stemmed from after Morning Joe and Mika, just kind of going down,
Yeah, well, if I can tell you right now, media certainly, I mean, it's been the case for a while. I mean, media it's just not. You can work in media for a while. It's the folks who get those $1 million contracts are very, very rare. Mm-hmm. You can work in television for decades and not make more than a standard salary. I know friends of mine who've worked for Channel 9, Channel 7, CIU, and they never made any more than whatever I might have made, like when I worked in not-for-profit. So those, when you hear about, like I remember it was Diane Burns back here in Chicago for a while back. She was one of the last like $2-3 million contract, and then when they got to them, they said, "Oh, we can't do this anymore."
I think at WGN, I came in and it's funny because I got into industries just as the bottom was falling out both times. Stand-up comedy in the '90s, and then radio. And I think the last host to get a really big deal at WGN was Spike O'Dell, the morning host.
Yeah.
And I saw the numbers of like what the sales were like between when he left and when they were renegotiating contracts with like Steve Cochran, with John Williams, with all that stuff. Because when we moved out of the Tribune Tower, some of the sales department left all of their paperwork behind, like all over their offices. It was crazy. At any rate, yes. People aren't getting big contracts. The money, I mean, unfortunately, you saw like the big deals were like Howard Stern, Joe Rogan, like with Sirius.
Yeah, and even that's not as big as it was too. Because I know Sirius XM is now cutting back on their expenditures. They're not going to be investing so much in streaming. Right. I know the Rogan podcast, as popular as it's been, it's also kind of on the decline. I mean, still big
millions,
for a podcast,
sure.
Still millions. I mean, you can't complain with that. But yeah, and the thing too with ad sales, the really frustrating part is that the streaming companies, the big corps, they've like sucked up all the oxygen when it comes to any ad revenue, which is ridiculous, because especially when you talk about like sports and the like, you have the Los Angeles Dodgers, with a $3 billion television contract because of what they thought would be ad revenue, and it's not even panning out. They're going to be those things. Even Major League Baseball is starting to correct too. That the kind of money that they thought was there for media rights and revenue isn't what they thought it would be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's just ironic. It was right after the election got finished with, and then when Joe and Mika first made a beeline down to Mar-a-Lago to kiss the ring, and then it just the ratings dropped, and slowly now they got to start thinning out the wages. It seems like.
No, you're right though. It doesn't help when you have what you expect to be a hostile administration that's going to be kind of coming after you. Don't get me wrong. I mean, of course, it's not like the media and the president need to get along, hand in hand and be buddy-buddy. If you have a sort of antagonistic relationship, I don't have a problem with that. I think that's healthy when it comes to media. But, that's not what media does it for. They do it for money.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, you mentioned about baseball. There's that one guy that got that raise. Now he can buy a country of his own.
Yeah, that won't get me started on that.
You know, we'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back. Thank you so much, Dave. I saw a thing. We'll talk about this when we come back. That theater and baseball and in-person sports are going to be bigger because of AI. That's an interesting concept. We'll see more after this on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal. We're so glad you're here with me and Elliott Serano on Christmas Eve.
Driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal, and law enforcement officers can tell when you're driving high. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. Midnight Mass in Bethlehem, the leader of the Catholic Church in the Holy Land, Cardinal Pier Battista Pizzaballa, tells worshippers,
despite everything, we have to express joy, because Christmas is joy.
Charles de la Desma reports it's again a subdued scene in the city.
Celebrations in biblical town Bethlehem, revered by Christians as Jesus' birthplace, are usually attended by thousands of people from around the world. But this year, Bethlehem prepares to mark its second Christmas under the shadow of the war in Gaza. There are almost no tourists. So Bethlehem's Christmas celebrations will be sombre and muted, in deference to the ongoing war, explains Mayor Anton Salman.
Always the message of Bethlehem is a message of peace and hope. And these days we are also sending our message to the world, peace and hope, but insisting that the world must work to end our suffering as Palestinian people, to end the occupation.
There'll be no giant Christmas tree in Manger Square, no raucous scout marching bands, no public lights twinkling, and very few public decorations or displays. Since the war in Gaza began, tourism to Israel and the Israeli-occupied West Bank has plummeted. I'm Charles de la Desma.
Violence has erupted in the African nation of Mozambique after the country's highest court confirmed the ruling party presidential candidate as the winner of the country's disputed October elections. At least 21 people have been killed. President-elect Trump says he'll vigorously pursue capital punishment once he takes office. This after President Biden commuted the sentences of 37 of the 40 people on federal death row, partly to stop Trump from pushing forward their executions. The major storms producing dangerously high surf and flooding threats along California's central coast, and on Hawaii's Big Island, Kilauea, one of the world's most active volcanoes, has been spewing lava into the air for a second straight day. No homes threatened. This is AP News. It may come as a Christmas surprise for football fans, but it won't be under the tree unless that's where your TV is. Shelley Adler explains.
Just like Thanksgiving, football fans will be treated to NFL games on Christmas Day, but you will need a Netflix subscription to watch them. The streaming giant will have one of its biggest days since the site launched in 1998, when it airs 2 NFL games for the first time. Pittsburgh will host Kansas City, followed by Baltimore against Houston. And for fans in those cities, they'll be able to watch on regular TV on CBS. Hopefully things will go better than a fight in November on Netflix, when, according to the website Down Detector, nearly 85,000 viewers had problems with outages or streaming leading up to and during the fight. I'm Shelley Adler.
Game time 1 p.m. Eastern for the Chiefs and Steelers, 4:30 Eastern for the Ravens and Texans. I'm Ben Thomas, AP News. Thanks for listening.
This is 8:20 a.m. WCPT Willow Springs and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now, your WCPT 820 weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Cloudy skies tonight with a low temperature of 33 degrees and winds out of the east around 5 miles an hour. Christmas Day, Wednesday, a little bit of rain developing mainly in the afternoon with a high temperature around 38. On Thursday, we'll see a couple of showers with a high temperature of 46. Friday, rain likely with a high temperature of 50. Saturday, chance of rain and a high of 43. Sunday, showers with a high temperature of 48. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 37.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
You're listening to WCPT 820, because facts matter.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
You know what? This is such a delightful Christmas Eve because I'll be spending it with my family, and I get to spend it with one of my best friends, Elliott Serano, joins us in studio. We also want to say hello to our friends listening on KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
What up, Minnesota?
And Matt McNeil, who broadcasts here in the evenings at 9 p.m. We pre-recorded an interview, so I think it's a new to you show, and I think that's going to be after New Year's, so it's sometime next week. He's taking a lot of radio hosts take the whole 2 weeks off. I don't know if you remember when I was at the former radio station at WGN. I'm fine saying it. I would say, but I didn't like taking time off. Remember, we would work on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, I remember Thanksgiving.
Oh, that was so much fun.
New Year's.
Yeah,
I remember what was it? When was it when we'd have our pajamas? I'd come.
Oh, that was just spontaneously. We had a slumber party one time.
Yeah, but I remember one particular holiday. Was it New Year's? We did the pajama party.
It might have been New Year's.
Yeah, because I came in my Chewbacca onesie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we all. Lady B's like, what kind of parties did I miss? Oh, Lady B, you missed some parties.
Yeah.
Just saying, it was a good time at the other station.
Yeah.
So much so that people are asking me about the schedule there now. So Raina, I do want to let you know. Raina's Raina didn't mean to text me. I think they're going back and forth between which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're here in any way. I'll take it. I don't know if Steve and Johnny are on tonight. I know that they post today's their I believe is their anniversary. So they are celebrating. So happy anniversary to Steve and Johnny, who I adore. And you can, by the way, Raina, if you're on Facebook, Chuck Snitchler and Diane Peterson, I think some other folks, run a WGN past and present for radio and television. And you can join that group as long as you aren't mean. They prefer that. I know that Chuck had to manage that a lot when I was at the station.
I think I followed. Chuck. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So Chuck and Diane and some of the other folks, I'm grateful that you include me on a lot of the posts. Like when I'm performing live, they'll always promote that, which is really sweet. And thank you.
A little ditty about Chuck and Diane. I'm sorry, that was stuck in my head. But yeah.
So thank you. And also to our friend Mark, happy holidays. And we are so happy to spend this evening with you and so many others who might be surprised. I was surprised that I'm doing a show tonight because Lady B was the one. She's like, I don't think you have a night off, and I was like, that's fine, I'll be here. I'm 2 blocks away, baby.
No, Mark is like many people who they find themselves kind of on their own tonight on the holidays. I think it's. I'm going to say this for the folks who spend the holidays alone, and it's not because, you've fallen out, but it's just because that's what you decide to do. That's what you choose to do. Hey, if that's what you want to do, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't ever feel like pressured. No. Don't let your family pressure you into this or that or the other. If you want to spend the time alone, that's fine. But, and there are folks who wish they had family, and they might be missing someone right now. I'm missing my dad,
I miss my dad too. I was thinking about that today.
Right, we miss our parents. Yeah. My siblings were all very close. We would be together if it weren't for different schedules. But it's we're not estranged. It's just whatever. But yeah, try to find a little peace where you can. And if you can't be with someone physically, call them. FaceTime them. Do something.
And if you've chosen not to be with family because they cause a lot of stress in your life, that's okay too.
Do not. Yeah, it's like that happens a lot around Thanksgiving and this is going to be a sensitive topic for some folks, like Mother's and Father's Days.
Yeah,
where like you're being told, to celebrate your parents. I mean, I celebrate my mom, but for those of us who have had very complicated relationships with our parents, and maybe
whatever that might be, the whole range of things.
Sometimes it might not even be you didn't have the best relationship. Don't let people go and tell you, well, it's a holiday. You should put these things aside for the peace. Like, no. It's not always on you. That they should also be willing to, make amends too. And I know, and I hate that this has become a factor, but because again, people say, well, it's political, because, because you voted for Trump doesn't mean that they're, your siblings voted for Trump doesn't mean they're not your family anymore. I go, folks, stop framing political, but framing it as a political difference. It's an ethical difference.
Yeah.
It's not about politics. It's about ethics and ideals.
Yep. I had to weather a lot. So I have half siblings. My parents both had marriages previous to meeting each other, and I have a very complicated relationship with all of my siblings. And there was in particular one sister, my half sister on my dad's side. So she's Irish and German. I'm Irish and Mexican. And one day she called up and she goes, Patty, I need to talk to you. She goes, she goes, you know what? Rebecca is dating a Mexican. And I was like, okay. And she goes, I've already been through this once. I don't think I can do it again.
Wow.
Yeah. Lady B is angry for me. Steve and I were dating at the time.
Oh my God! It's like they don't even know it.
and I was just like, no, I don't. And I remember I used to keep a bottle of tequila in my freezer. And it might be why it's vodka now. But I opened the freezer and I got out the bottle. And Steve will tell you this happened. Like he had no idea because it wasn't like I had it was 1997 or 1998.
So you're still holding
yeah. So I was cradling the phone in my ear and I'm like, and I'm pouring the tequila. And she's telling me this, and she's I just don't think she knows how much it's going to impact the rest of her life. And by the way, Lady B, she married the guy, and her daughter just graduated from nursing school. Her beautiful, my beautiful great niece, which I know that only because of Facebook, because that wasn't the worst that would happen between me and my sister, but that was. And Rebecca told me, she called me later, and she was really upset because her father, it was her stepfather. Mm-hmm. He was angry at her. He said, and this is how bad that side of the family was. I don't want any Mexicans in my house. And Rebecca, I shouldn't be saying names, too late now, to her credit goes, you mean like Aunt Patty and her mom Dora? And yeah,
wow.
I mean, what?
Yeah, but you don't count.
I know
you don't count. You're like,
because I've had to go through this. I don't want to go through this again.
Yeah.
Was my mom. She was talking about my dad dating my mom and marrying her.
Yeah.
And it was always hard. What was hard too was that my other sister hated my dad, and I found out later, like whatever. So at any rate, for all of our mental health. The things that happened over the last since my dad passed away, because I called both of them. I said, hey, Dad's been diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. And one of them said, yeah, I haven't really seen him that much in the last 10 years. I don't think I need to see him now.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But here was the thing about that. I get that, right? Because I worked so hard to try to be close to both of them, and I think they did in many ways, in their own ways. Yeah. But when he passed away, like nothing.
Wow.
Yeah. Nothing.
I mean, I'm grateful that I never had that kind of. I guess the word's animosity. Yeah. Everyone in my life, I love all my siblings, and I love my parents, and even my mom's husband. He's a decent guy, and I had a very good relationship with my father's second wife. She was wonderful, and so I'm never going to go, if something ever happened to them, of course I would care. So I guess I'm fortunate that way, but yes, it's out there for people who, again, if you have experienced that, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad if and don't let it be put on you that you have to be the one that makes amends.
Right. And be very careful when you go online, because my nieces reached out and they wanted to friend me on Facebook, so I accepted that. But then, of course, that means in my timeline comes these big family pictures and things that but I'm like, I don't feel like I'm missing out. Just my great, my nieces and nephews, and then my great nieces and nephews who are beautiful. One of them looks like my dad, which is really sweet. Irish as Irish could be. And when we get home, I got to show you. My Aunt Pat sent me years ago. She sent me pictures of my ancestors that came to Chicago in the late 1800s.
Oh, cool.
So I have these amazing, and actually one of them is at Christmas time that I finally found a little frame for. Oh. So yeah, but I want to say that to that, I think that what Elliott and we have many friends who go through this. We have complicated, as you mentioned, relationships.
Very complicated relationships.
And like really intensely negative and toxic. And I think that, people will do that thing, that kind of dismissive of their feelings. So please just try to be mindful when you talk to somebody about their situation. Like, you'll miss them when they're gone, or blood is thicker than whatever. Like, we also get to choose our families. Yeah. Or the people we want to spend time with. Like there is actually a grace in going, I need to protect myself. And by that, you also might be protecting those people. You're not, making that boil over into something that could be, generationally harmful.
I mean, yes, you need to have people that value you as much as you value them. Yeah. If you're not feeling that, if you're not feeling like they are sincere in caring for you and want to be a part of your life because of that, not because of obligation or whatever the tradition is or blah, blah, blah. You should respect yourself. Yeah. Above all.
I can't believe I never told you the story about my sister saying I have to deal with my daughter.
That is crazy.
It was nuts.
Although not surprising.
Yeah.
You have, I've heard so many stories about your family and your extended family. Again, if it was a script, if it was like, if I was a screenwriter and I sat down to write these sorts of things, people go, dude, that is far-fetched. That is no way. I go, no.
Do you want to help me with the script for for the book? I'm writing Chicago Girl. Okay. Uh-huh. And then the byline is the Chicago Girl, politics, sex scandals, and serial killers.
That sounds cool. Yeah, I'll do work on that.
It's intense.
Have you opened your Christmas gift that I gave you?
I did. My journal from Sunnydale High School. I'm very excited about this. My Buffy the Vampire Slayer journal.
I meant to put a note in there saying, this is where you dump all your trauma. Because it's where Buffy dealt with it. Yeah. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is essentially dealing with the trauma of adolescence and all that. This is specifically for when you're writing your book. That's where you dump your trauma in here.
It's funny you mentioned this because, one, it was so funny when I opened it because I am intrigued by a new series. I never watched Dexter.
Yes,
ever.
yes.
I never watched it. It's just, it was too much, right? And so, but now there's the prequel, his early, and she plays like the head of forensics department.
Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar. Yeah, she's like a guest on there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm kind of intrigued now. I'm sort of intrigued.
It's like I like seeing her get work.
Did you watch Dexter?
I did. My ex was really into it, and it lost me after a while.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't seem like the kind of thing I would really.
No,
especially because it's a lot of
again, it is. Yeah, I'm sorry, but he's a serial killer, and he kills other serial killers, but he's still a killer. And I have an issue with that.
There's that. Oh, my neck just tightened up. Let's take a quick break here. We are in studio with Elliott Serano, Chief Geek Officer of Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez, and co-producer, creator of Whiskey and a Cookie every Friday night at 7 o'clock, give or take. Give or take. Hey, I know, I'm trying to figure that out. Because I think it's a YouTube show now. I mean, we probably should have been on YouTube the whole time.
Probably. And my problem, too, is that now with Whiskey and a Cookie, I'm interning at the other radio station on Friday, so when I can make it home, it's like, oh, yeah, I can do it. And then other times I'm like, eh.
It's okay. No. It's, as long as I have one of you to get it online.
Either you or me or Adam.
Yeah.
But Adam's our go-to guy. Anyway.
Maybe I should go to StreamYard instead of Zoom.
StreamYard would be a lot easier.
All right.
But we're having, folks, this is what you call a production meeting on air.
Well, it's because I'm going to see you very often. I'm very excited.
I get that.
All right, let's take a break here. And we don't know where, no one knows what I'll talk about.
I still haven't talked, but I have to explain my obsession with this diary.
Yes, that's coming up next.
Waiting on that.
By the way, so do you have any trivia questions about Kathy Griffin that you would like to? Do you have any? I think I've already done two.
What? Okay, I have one.
Yes,
we can see. Yeah.
773-763-9278 is the number to call for your chance to win a pair of tickets based on this question from Elliott Serano.
But I'm not sure if you already used this one.
What does it matter?
Okay, name the sitcom that she rose to prominence on.
Excellent. That's fine.
It's a sitcom, and I'll give you a hint. Co-starred a very popular podcaster.
Oh, that's not correct.
No?
That was a different actress.
No, she was. Oh, wait a minute.
That's a different actress. That's really funny.
Are you sure?
They were both redheads, popular on sitcoms at the same time.
Hold on, okay.
That's so funny. What sitcom?
Oh my God! I'm thinking about the gal from. I'm thinking about the gal from.
She's great.
Yes.
What sitcom did Elliott Serano just incorrectly think that Kathy Griffin was a part of?
Yeah, I'm thinking about the actress who actually was on Seinfeld. Yes, no, this gal was on Seinfeld, but it was not Kathy Griffin.
So 773-763-9278 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Kathy Griffin, who is a passionate advocate for the LGBTQI plus community and for women and other disenfranchised groups, and is a cancer survivor herself, and she advocates for her community. She's a hilarious, fiery redhead, and she's bringing her My Life on the PTSD list to the Chicago Theater on December 31st. Celebrate your New Year's Eve with belly laughs. A limited number of great seats opened up starting at $43.50. Go, hurry up and grab your tickets right now. Purchase tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Contests running at WCPT are open to listeners 18 or older and residents of the Greater Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana area. One entry per household, one per person. One winner per person, one entry per person. You know what I meant. Void where prohibited by law. Listeners may only win or qualify to win once every 30 days. Complete rules are available on our website at WCPT820.com by clicking the contest tab. You thought I talked fast before. Ha ha! More after this on WCPT820. Herlansing.
With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new CareWatch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The CareWatch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. The CareWatch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. Call us to get your CareWatch right now.
800-741-5819. 800-741-5819. 800-741-5819. That's 800-741-5819.
WCPT replay.
Where is our resolve to fight rather than enable fascists? What happened to our principles, our commitment to democracy? Now, this isn't how Democrats used to do this. LBJ ate the Republicans' lunch. Franklin Roosevelt, he called them and the people who backed them economic royalists. He said, these economic royalists complain that we seek to overthrow the institutions of America. What they really complain about is that we seek to take away their power. And our allegiance to American institutions requires the overthrow of this kind of power. Republicans called FDR a tyrant and a communist, and he laughed at them. They said he'd destroy America. He steamrolled them. Where is this generation's FDR? Where are the Democratic Party's heroes? Where are our spokespeople? Where is their outrage?
Keep listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez on WCPT 820.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue to drive it home on this Christmas Eve. We are live tonight, and then starting tomorrow, it's going to be a best of cavalcade for all of our shows, I believe, including Richard Chu's show, Chu's Views, and it's going to be a guide for a look back at 2024 with some of his favorite interviews, including Congresswoman Robin Kelly, Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton, Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul, and amongst many others, Michelle Duster and Karen Byrne of the podcast. What's the name of the podcast? True Blue Politics. Choose Views weekday mornings from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on WCPT. And also Jonas Bazito will have the best of her show. And then Thursday, Terry Ryder will be back and talking to Jane Charney, Associate Vice President for Local Government Affairs at the Jewish United Fund. And those are some of the highlights. I think that we threw people off with our trivia question, so we'll take caller number 3.
Yeah, caller, because I cheated. It was wrong. And I'm sorry. So caller number 3, just call.
It's not cheating.
Call and get these tickets. It's funny too. I'm going through my Facebook memories, and it's showing me the last time I was on your show on Christmas Eve.
Yes, when was that?
And this was 2 years ago.
Oh, so we were here.
We were here.
And
and afterwards,
what did we do? What
I went back to your house.
You're making this sound a little tawdry. Yes.
No, yeah, right. No, it was
back to my house.
Right. Yeah. And you guys made me watch while you were sleeping.
Oh, Steve loves that movie. I will tell you right now, that is one of that's
I know.
That's his remote dropper. You were so cynical about the way it was filmed.
I was. No, because here was the thing, and here's the thing. And this is the thing that I will not forget. I will not forget this. Beyond the fact that the movie just did not get me until I was like at the very end. Like Sandra Bullock's little speech at the end saves the movie.
Sweet.
But here's the thing, is that you had that motion smoothing on your brand new television. It was your brand new TV.
Yes,
you were like,
that's right.
And it made it look like it was on videotape and not film. And you guys are going, we don't see what's wrong with this. I'm going, it looks like a soap opera. It looks like it was videotaped. You're like,
did you used to tape your soap operas?
Yeah. I'm like, what? I'm like, and then you're like, you were like, it was like, I was having a hard time watching it. And I'm logging at that in my Facebook memory says, while you were sleeping on Amazon Prime, can't get past it. It looks like it was filmed on videotape. And you guys the whole time are like, Elliott, we don't see the problem. That is actually an issue that so many people are having with the
high-def television.
The high-def televisions, and like they go to like a relative's house, and it's like a thing that happens automatically on the television, and some folks like they don't care. And then other folks are like, oh, I got to change this.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. If you come over, you can change the settings on our television.
I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to worry about it.
Well, you also forget, one year we watched with you Holiday Inn with Fred Astaire and
I was
Bing Crosby.
listening to you talking about that.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was like we were watching Holiday Inn.
For the most part,
because you loved it, and I remember going, "Oh, this is kind of nice." Da, 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 da. And then the scene with the blackface came.
It was Abraham Lincoln's birthday.
God, you were so embarrassed. Like you forgot that was in there. I was dying.
Mr. Bojangles.
Dying.
Yeah.
Because you were like, I can't believe this.
I know. I was really embarrassed. I forgot about that. And then we were all like Googling like Fred Astaire and blackface, and we were like, oh my god.
And then, Steve went and found that little mini documentary about the history of blackface and all that, and we're talking about how Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire actually were very good to their African American cast. They were like, they supported them. A lot of that stuff they were doing was like getting them, onto the movies and stuff. So it wasn't like they were humiliating them or
didn't see it. It's hard. Well, it's like Hattie McDaniel, who won the Academy. She was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for Gone with the Wind, and the story is that they would not seat her with her cast, and Clark Gable refused to join the table unless she was seated, and that she ultimately was. Yeah.
So that just came up in my memories. I'm like, you're not going to watch.
Have you ever seen Gone with the Wind?
No.
Interesting.
No, I've never seen that one.
It's like it's because of my childhood. Like everyone who looks at me like I'm crazy when I don't know bands or who's singing a song. Like I feel the same way about like classic movies.
Yeah.
Like Paul Farvar, our friend Paul. We were at a venue that had like one of those collages of classic movies from the 1930s and 40s, and I could name every single one. And not just because I knew them, but also I had that collage when I was in college.
There you go. No.
That was my poster. Like everybody had like Monet's, and like remember that was in Buffy too.
Yep.
Remember the vampires would slaughter these students and then take all their artwork, and it was like it's another Monet. It's another the Prince of that was so my college dorm was like I had Bull Durham poster. God, this is so funny. I had Bull Durham poster with the I like slow wet kisses. Like I had that whole the monologue. I had my collage of classic movies. I had a Gone with the Wind poster. I had a Singing in the Rain poster.
I've never seen Singing in the Rain either.
Okay, we had to get a break here. 773-7639. I know we're not even talking holiday movies, but Griffin just saw White Christmas, which is essentially a little bit of a rewriting almost of Holiday Inn. It's the same concept where it's only open
is that
at
the one
holidays.
with Bob Hope?
No, it's with Danny Kaye.
Oh, okay.
But it also has a military aspect to it, which is really sweet at the end. I think that the ending of White Christmas is quite beautiful.
Oh.
So let's take a break here. We'll continue our conversation. Let me know what your favorite holiday movies are, and I think we have to find out again what is Elliott's obsession with this diary. Is it a diary, a journal? What is this?
Yeah,
Dr. Jones.
It's Indiana Jones's diary, which ended up at the University of Chicago.
Which I still contend they should just create one and say it's like just have like their own Easter egg.
Their own house. Yeah.
More to this on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Cloudy skies tonight with a low temperature of 33 degrees and winds out of the east around 5 miles an hour. Christmas Day, Wednesday, a little bit of rain developing mainly in the afternoon with a high temperature around 38. On Thursday, we'll see a couple of showers with a high temperature of 46. Friday, rain likely with a high temperature of 50. Saturday, chance of rain and a high of 43. Sunday, showers with a high temperature of 48. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 36.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Medicaid and CHIP offer free or low-cost health coverage for children and teens. Hospital and doctor visits, prescriptions, shots, and more are covered. That's peace of mind for parents if a child is sick or gets injured. And parents may now be eligible for Medicaid too, even if they've applied in the past. Enrollment is always open. Visit InsureKidsNow.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
There's no better way to defend democracy in front of your fascist Republican friends than with a cold progressive beer from the Minocqua Brewing Company of Wisconsin. So head on over to Beer on the Wall in Schaumburg, Doty Liquors in Elmhurst, Captain Jack's Beverages in Worth, or the Wilmette Market to pick up a 4-pack or couple 2-3 of MAGA Tears IPA today. Don't forget to drink and vote responsibly.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez on WCPT 820.
Thank you so much for joining us for the last two legs of our drive home on this beautiful Christmas Eve. Joining me in studio is our Chief Geek Officer of the show, Elliott Serano, also the King of Geeks Chicagoland area. And he has been on a mission to locate the diary of Dr. Indiana Jones. And I remember seeing, I can't remember what theater, because I can remember some of the theaters. Like I know where I saw E.T., which was the Old Orchard Theaters. I remember seeing Star Wars at the Gateway Theater over here on Lawrence Avenue. Just to name a few. I believe I saw Empire Strikes Back at the Norwich Theaters. I saw Back to the Future at the Pickwick. I cannot remember where I was when I saw Indiana Jones, and I remember loving it. And I remember was it that one? Was it the Temple of Doom or the first picture, the original Indiana Jones, where one of his students, when he's giving a lecture, she blinks and on her eyelids it says
"Love you."
Love you.
Yeah, that's Raiders.
Okay, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
So tell us about this diary and and why you insist on asking my son Griffin, who is a student at the University of Chicago, where Dr. Jones taught.
Okay, so Indiana Jones was a student at the University of Chicago in the 1920s. It's something that is brought up in Raiders of the Lost Ark in the very beginning, where they said he studied under Abner Ravenwood at the University of Chicago.
Okay.
And then that would be later explored in the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, when we see Indiana Jones in Chicago bartending at a speakeasy and attending classes.
Is it the Green Mill? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, really.
Maybe that's where the diary is.
Well, who knows?
I'm sorry.
I mean, but the diary comes later, actually.
Okay.
So so he would then be bartending or waiting tables at the speakeasy and getting into meeting Sidney Lumet as part of the jazz scene in the underground. You know, where you had all these black musicians that were performing in these segregated businesses.
Right.
So, but anyway, beyond that, this was a while back. This was when I was working for the Chicago Red Eye. Someone mailed a replica of the diary that Indy's father mails to him in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Right.
It's the Grail diary, where Henry Jones Sr. keeps all the little clues in his quest to find the Holy Grail. Okay. And to keep it out of the hands of the Nazis, he mails it to his son, who at that point is teaching at Barnett College. And let's just say then hilarity ensues after that. So, and needless to say, that particular prop is highly sought after by Indiana Jones collectors. There's one they have a couple in the Lucasfilm archives. Adam Savage of the Mythbusters has made several replicas himself. He used to work for Lucasfilm.
He worked for them.
He worked for Industrial Light and Magic, and that they're very highly sought after. At least the really good ones are very highly sought after. Somehow, one got mailed to the University of Chicago, and no one knows why. And they thought the folks in the admissions department at the University of Chicago were like, someone sent this to us. Someone made the connection. Oh yeah, that's right. Indy did go to school here, and the theory was that maybe it was sent to them because it was part of an application to the university, and they wanted to be very clever with their application. Like, hey,
interesting stunt.
Yeah, boom, here, go. You got my attention. I got your attention. Well, I'd be a great student here. To this day, I've not found out how that diary ended up, who sent it, and so on, so forth. And since then, even when I was working for the Chicago Red Eye, and I have friends from G and all that who went there and got to see it, I have yet to actually see this particular prop replica, which was, as far as I know, property of the University of Chicago. And I'm saying, look, Indiana Jones went to the University of Chicago. That's where he studied. It would make perfect sense to me that they would keep said prop, let's say, in the anthropology department, which is where, it's anthropology and archaeology. They don't have just archaeology anymore. They combined it. Yes, I've met a student who was in the anthropology department, and I kept asking him again and again, do you happen to see the diary? Is there any way I could see the diary? And he would keep saying, as everybody from the University of Chicago would tell me, A, no, I haven't seen it. B, I didn't know it existed. But C, I'll look into it for you. I have never gotten to letter D, meaning I found it or it's no longer here. So time and time again, I have said, if someone from the University of Chicago knows where this diary is, I would love to see it, because that to me would be as close as I could get to holding the real prop from the movie, because we're talking this thing was kept at the University of Chicago.
And we were so close to having a Lucas Museum here in which is how we met.
Yes, that's how we met. Yeah,
that's how we met with the Friends of the Park.
That thing they've broken. That thing they've already. Have you seen the pictures of it in Los Angeles?
No.
It looks incredible. It looks incredible.
Have you driven by the construction of the Obama Presidential Library?
Not yet.
It looks like something out of Star Wars, like some sort of ship, and it doesn't look like it's from the good guys. It's very
Empire.
the aesthetics are very severe, is all I'm saying.
I also applied for a job at the Obama Museum.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I haven't heard from them.
Well, they're not open yet.
I know, but I mean, it's like the
they're
whole
building there.
and I know they're getting like but they're already posting positions.
Right. Oh,
so I mean, I applied for their community outreach. So yeah,
you never know.
Never know.
A lot of work. I do want to say hello to our friends that are watching on our live stream, both on YouTube, hi everybody, and on Facebook, and a special happy birthday to Karen, and happy holidays to all of you. Thank you for joining us. And Lamont, I want to thank you for your Christmas card. It was greatly appreciated, as well as I've gotten a couple of, my friend Paul sent me a Christmas card. I'm trying to think of all the cards we got. I think did we get one from Dave? I think we got one from Dave from Hoffman. I can't remember all the cards. Thank you, everybody. It was very kind of you. And don't feel like you have to, folks. I am catching up on all my Christmas cards. I always buy Happy Holiday Christmas cards just to cover the 2-week span of, or Happy New Year. And then I got like a month, right?
There you go. Yeah. I mean,
it's 2025 already, Elliot. I mean, in a week.
You know what it's going to be? I mean, okay, so 2025 is almost done. I have a feeling, 2024 is almost done. Right. It's going to be 2025. I have this feeling that 2025, 2026, 27, and 28 are all going to feel like one long year.
Well, a lot of things are...
Time's going to dilate.
The muscles from my ear to my neck are shortening. I will say this. I mean, for me personally, right? It's horrifying because we know how bad it can get. Like, people are like, "Well, this is different this time." Like, we went through a pandemic that was so catastrophically managed that hundreds of thousands of people needlessly died. For me personally, though, I will say I was in a much worse place emotionally because of the circumstances surrounding my previous employment. That at least I'm in a position both professionally and emotionally, we have some challenges with Declan and trying to figure out what happened with his ability to walk. But I'm settled with my, that part is okay for now. I know that anything is possible, but my friendships are stronger even than they were. I'm not sort of. I was going. That was a lot. So, and who knows? Maybe it was in part because of the stress of having Trump as the.
It was just a lot on top of a lot. The pandemic happening in the middle of probably one of the worst administrations that we've had in modern history.
Oh my God.
And again, it astounds me that everyone forgets that.
I mean,
and add to that. I'm sorry. I mean, it's Christmas Eve. I'm going to stay positive here.
Yes.
But that throughout the entire election, you had corporate media kind of like sanitizing what it was under his administration, and still putting out there, well, people trust Republicans with the economy more. I'm like, why? They've keep repeating that, but why?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Republicans keep holding on to this idea that they're better. They've been better for the economy, when every Republican president has exploded the national deficit. Every time the deficit, look at the statistics. Every government shutdown was when the Republicans were in charge of Congress.
Yep.
Every shutdown.
And every threat of it.
Every threat of it with a Republican Congress.
Yeah.
So it's like, I do not understand why they keep saying that Republicans is Republicans, and it's not even that it's. I'm not even saying it's Republicans anymore. I mean the current Republican Party under Donald Trump is nothing like the Reagan Republican Party. I mean, they're. For how long were we told, well, you gotta, we need the debt ceiling because, you gotta have a balanced budget.
Gotta be responsible.
Gotta be responsible. Now they're like, we gotta get rid of the debt ceiling. Let's get rid of the debt ceiling for the next few years. What? And you still have conservatives out there going, yeah. Well, that's the way we're at. Like, it makes no sense to me. So, again, 2025, 2026, 27, 28, it's going to feel like one long year.
Yep. And I don't want to, I want to say this before I forget, and don't read it tonight because it will set you'll want to set the column on fire even though it's only digital. Rick Perlstein, friend of the show and a tremendous writer, has written like The Rise of Conservatism. He talks about he's written about Nixon, about Goldwater, about Reagan. He's written a column about he's written a great column about King David, Billionaires I Have Known, the final installment, and he talks about David Rubenstein. And I had no idea about this particular billionaire who's it was part of creating the Carlyle Group, but essentially two things that come to mind, just top lines of what he wrote about, was how he and another like DC insider, because he worked for the Carter administration and was like very happy to be public servant, and he was like in his late 20s, and then when Carter lost, he became a lobbyist and thought it was a very, very demeaning work. And I think when he was given the opportunity to basically become part of the rich and elite, he jumped at it. And they found a loophole in a deal that the United States had come to with Native Americans in Alaska, and basically built the United States from $1 billion because of this loophole for this Native American tribe. And then the other thing was they were involved in the bankruptcy of Manor Care. They bought up all of this care for the elderly, like retirement homes and elder care, which, by the way, Governor Rauner was also in that kind of hedge fund space that we talked a little bit about. Yeah, see, like I said, let's come back and talk about fun stuff. Let's go anyway.
If anyone wants to find me that Indiana Jones diary again, or they have really, I cannot afford like a really good replica of it. So if you are an Etsy person out there, you're someone who's really into that, and you want to trade me a diary for something, I'll talk to you.
So would you need someone who does like 3D? Like, it's not a 3D thing because it's paper and book binding. Because I have a friend who makes lightsabers for Amazon, by the way.
Oh yeah, I've got one. I've got a good one though. So I've always see those from time to time, and I do have like a cheaply made diary replica, but yeah. And real quick, I did want to mention, because you have on the text line, someone said, I cannot spend Christmas with some of my Trump siblings. One is just giddy with excitement, another wears a Trump hat and sends me a propaganda DVD. I don't understand why
face stuff.
The whole thing with the merchandise and the Trump hats and shirts and flags, even when Obama was president, I don't remember Obama supporters out there constantly wearing the shirts and flying the flags and wearing all this gaudy stuff. And then once he was no longer president, we put the stuff away.
Yeah, I have it in a drawer. It's my keepsake.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe what we need to start doing is pulling out our Obama stuff and our Biden stuff.
Well, a woman in the South said she was cold. It was chilly where she lives, and so the sweatshirt she grabbed happened to be her Harris Walls sweatshirt, and she was at a grocery store, and this guy said, she didn't win. This is the voice I hear. Yeah. No, she actually was talking about it. Yeah. So she's a black woman, and she said this guy was like, she didn't win, don't you? And she's like, yeah, I know that. And he goes, well, then why are you wearing the shirt? She goes, and she swore a little bit about the MAGA hats that we have seen for the last 4 years, and actually for the last 8 years. And she's like, I'll wear whatever the hell I want to wear in some altered language.
Yeah, they don't mind. And they keep, again, it's cheap stuff too. It's not even like really cool stuff. It's
made in China.
Made in China, and the design looks like something that a high schooler did. And come on, you're Trump. You could have come up with a new slogan for your second time around. He went back to the old designs, just like, again, the MAGA hats. Update your stuff.
Yeah, why not something like shark or batteries in the water? Let's take a break here. We'll come back in a moment on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal in studio with Elliott Serano on this drive home on Christmas Eve.
Around the Town, Chicago, with Al Beslaw.
My dog eats dog food now. Bravo. She eats good. She does kibble and she does wet. But everything has to be topped with the farm to pet topping. You just sprinkle it on the top of her food. She comes running to it and starts gobbling up her food. I've even tried it. It's really...
And Frank's doing much better now. Okay.
My coat is really good.
His hair is shiny.
Sunday afternoons at 1 on WCPT 820.
This is a WCPT moment in labor. In the summer of 1881, 2 decades after the Civil War, 20 African-American laundresses met at a local church in Atlanta to form the Washing Society, a trade organization which looked to create a higher uniform wage and greater work autonomy for laundresses, also known as washerwomen. Through the help of local preachers and door-to-door canvassing, the Washing Society grew from 20 members to 3,000 in only a few weeks. The workers went on strike and faced opposition from their employers as well as the local politicians. The Atlanta City Council proposed a licensing fee for their organizing efforts. The strikers agreed to the fee in exchange for self-regulation. In the end, the City Council rejected the proposed fees and the laundresses prevailed. The impact of the strike led to increased wages for some, but showed that African-American workers, including women, were vital to the New South economy. This has been a WCPT Moment in Labor. We're working for your rights.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez on WCPT 820.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue on our last leg of our drive home on this Christmas Eve. I'm your host, Patti Vasquez, and joining me in studio is Elliott Serano, one of my dearest friends, who I'm so grateful that he came in today when I messaged him at the last moment this morning. And I said, I think I'm working tonight, because Lady B mentioned it yesterday. I'm like, I don't know. Oh, I am. Yeah, let's go. All right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm there.
That's over there. Hello. And we have a friend on the line. We have Victor calling from Salem, Oregon. You're on with me and Elliott Serano on KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul in the evenings, as well as WCPT 820 here in Chicago. And we love hearing from Oregon. How are you doing, Victor?
Great, Patty and Elliott. You guys are doing such a wonderful job, as usual. You're really a keystone to the progressive movement, let me tell you. And I just called to tell you that the woman that wore the Kamala Harris shirt, she should have turned around and tell the person who told her that Kamala Harris did not win. She should have said, yes, Kamala Harris did win. This election was stolen, and Donald Trump is not my president. That's what I would have done.
Troll him back. Just troll him back.
Yeah. I mean,
exactly.
Because here's, what's in the idea that Trump still doesn't believe he lost, or says he doesn't, that he didn't lose under his own administration, right? But he did win under Biden. Like, I mean, like, what? Make it make sense, folks.
I know. It's just a hypocrisy of it all.
Really
You're
is.
right, Patty.
Yeah.
And my favorite movie?
Yes.
Are you listening,
please.
Patty?
I am.
It was an old movie. I think it was in the 90s or somewhere around there. It was called Mars Attacks.
Oh, my God. Yes. That's a good one.
And the reason why, it was a spoof on an invasion from Mars. And that was defeated by music, country western music. But nevertheless, the reason why people should watch it now, because New Jersey, the East Coast, Florida, they're all being bombarded by these
drones. Yes, they're losing their minds. Yes.
This will remind them, hey, anything's possible. This is America.
This is Black Helicopter Redux, isn't it? I mean, they're going through the same thing again.
Yeah, Black Helicopter. You've got it, baby.
Yep.
Trump knows what they are. He
you
won't
guys
say.
have the merriest of Christmas and the happiest of New Year's.
You too, Victor.
And happy holidays. We all love you, and you're the only news source I listen to anymore. I can't listen to mainstream news. They're such hypocrites, and they still disseminate misinformation, you name it, baby. It's all propaganda.
And slanted. 1,000%. I agree with you. Thank you. So, Victor, great to hear from you. You have a wonderful holiday, too, okay?
Okay. Take care.
All right. You as well. What were you going to say, Elliott?
No, say Mars Attacks was Michael J. Fox is in that.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Tim Burton directs it. It's based on the trading cards by Topps. And it came up with the whole thing. Yeah, I remember Mars Attacks came out the same year as Independence Day.
Yes.
So those were the two alien invasion movies that were competing at the box office. Independence Day would go on to be like this huge hit. Mars Attacks was kind of like a cult following type deal. Still really unappreciated.
You know, one of my favorite relationship in Independence Day is Jeff Goldblum and the guy who plays his dad from Taxi.
Judd Hirsch.
Judd Hirsch.
Yeah.
I love that freaking relationship.
Judd Hirsch is great
so
too.
good.
I hadn't seen him in something for a long time. So to see him just show up, I was like, "Holy crap! It's Alex Regan from Taxi."
We are watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine now as a new show we picked up. So Mary Lou Henner, who is absolutely dazzling.
That?
Oh yeah,
I didn't know
she's not like she's a recurring character.
She shows up from time to time. Yeah,
yeah. I don't know if she's going to be on for the rest of the series. I just know that she pops up as in a relationship, and it's so much fun to see her. She's
I got to
great.
watch it. I got to watch it. Everyone I know
Andre
loves
Brower.
it.
Well, it took me a little bit because I'm not that big. I'm not a huge fan of. Is it Andy Samberg?
Andy Samberg, yeah.
He's growing on me tremendously.
Yeah.
But the cast is so much. Elliot, thank you. But and Andre Brower, who sadly passed away recently, so freaking funny because he's basically the same guy from Homicide: Life on the Streets.
Yep.
But in a comedy,
right?
And it's so freaking funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so brilliantly done in that sense, and so are the rest of the relationships on that show. Terry Crews is great, and Lady B, as you recall, I've been recommending Neighborhood with Cedric the Entertainer and one of the actors from. It's so good. Have you started watching it? Was I right? It's so good. I think people are sleeping on the show, even though it's been on CBS. I think going into its 5th season.
Okay.
A friend of mine is a writer on the show, Tracy Lords, who's fantastic. Oh, Tracy Ashley. I apologize. Tracy Lords is another comic, but or an actress.
Yes.
Pardon, Tracy. Sorry, she's in Indiana, so I'm sorry about that.
Tracy Lords was a completely different industry.
Yes, I apologize.
Mind you, also became an actor. Yes,
legit. Did I see correctly where someone said that in the crowd scenes for Ghostbuster is actually Ron Jeremy is in one of those shots?
He probably is. Yeah, it was New York. Yeah, they had lots of people in the back of the crowd scenes in New York.
Yeah, that was something that came up. But at any rate, so, yes, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We're always looking for new shows. What? That I miss?
No, you segue. I don't think people caught that segue is a thing. I don't think they realized what happened there. How you change stations just then, and they might be going, wait, what? Wait, what? What are they talking about? Then you'll Google it and you'll go, oh, that's what they meant.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No.
Sorry, everybody. I didn't mean to do that. At any rate. Tracy Ash. I now have to make sure that I'm talking about anyway. What other sitcoms? We are looking for comedies all the time. We've never seen Community. We went through all of Community. We've never seen Parks and Recs.
Parks and Rec is great after the 2nd season. Then it gets really good. And then when Rob Lowe shows up, when Rob Lowe and Adam Scott show up, that's when the show really takes off.
Right.
And then it's a lot of fun. And then you still have a chubby Chris Pratt. Before he would join the Marvel Universe and get all buff and all that stuff.
Okay, this brings up another point. I'm so glad you mentioned. I don't know why I made the connection, only because then it goes into the Avengers universe. And this is why I lit up like that, because Steve's trying to figure out what to do tonight while we're eating pizza. And he wanted to know if you've seen the Red One yet with...
No, I have not seen Red One.
All right, where's the Red One? So it's Tracy Ashley is a writer for The Neighborhood, really talented comedian. I believe she was also on They Ready, which was a comedy special on Netflix. So
okay, we'll watch Red One.
Red One. And then you have to go home.
No.
I know.
But can we make sure that the smoothing is turned off?
You do whatever you need
so
to do.
It doesn't look like a video, so it doesn't look like a soap opera. Okay.
Like we taped it in the 80s or something?
Yeah, because I remember I was ranting about this to Mandy. You know Mandy.
Yes.
And she was even telling me that, Elliot, because I mentioned it earlier, and she just texted me and says, I did bring that up. I should get credit for reminding you about that.
Thank you, Mandy.
Okay, so Mandy, yes, she did bring it up.
Yes.
Yeah, but I do not want to rant to her again about watching another movie and saying, hey, Patty again had the digital smoothing going on, and I couldn't watch The Rock looking like he was on a soap opera.
I know. Okay, we'll let you fix it. 815 says Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you, and your thank you so much. Thank you, Jim from Romeoville. I wish you and your family good health and a Happy New Year as well. And we had the texter who said that they had family members. Her brother gave her one sibling gave her kids a Trump board game years ago. What?
I would say, yeah. At the same time, like, hold on to that kind of stuff. Put it in a closet, because in about 15, 20 years, it still won't be worth anything. So people will be like, "What is this crap?"
Don't get me started.
Trumpopoly.
They already gave it back. Oh yeah, no kidding. Ooh, I promised you board games. It's not going to happen tonight. So you're dodging a bullet.
Yeah.
At any rate, Lady B, I love you. Thank you so much for everything. I'll have a wonderful Christmas Eve. You're back here tomorrow, Lady B? I'll come by and visit you. Maybe Elliot and I will stop by and say hi and wish you a Merry Christmas.
I'll bring my dog.
Yeah, you
can meet my dog.
Yay! Excellent. Oh yeah, we've made some wonderful plans for the holidays. Again, thank you all so much. I hope that you are happy, healthy, and safe where you are right now, and that you find some joy in the holiday season. Take a deep breath. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy yourself regardless of the situation, I hope. So, Elliot, thank you for joining us.
And remember, don't leave the fireplace on. Santa will singe his buttocks.
Unless you have it on the television. So now you must come to my house and hear the extended conversations about our streaming fireplaces. You'll enjoy it tremendously. I like the one by the river. The other ones seem dangerous. Like there's really the logs are too long for the fire pit. They're outside this. Okay. Yeah. Bye, everyone. Have a lovely evening. Randy Rhodes is up next, followed by Matt McNeil. Bye.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle. Unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at